Hey guys, I'm back. I'm sorry I was gone for so long. Um, I don't have any real reason why I was gone so long. I was just gone. I'm sorry. But yeah. But this is part two to what if Naruto was the Emperor of the West or was the reincarnation of the Demon King and the Supreme Deity and Null. But I'm gonna make a few changes. Yeah, I'm gonna make a few changes. So, the girl Naruto saved in the first one, I'm gonna name her Hestia instead of Diana or something like that. I'm gonna name her Hestia, and she's gonna be the new reincarnation for the Supreme Deity. Naruto's gonna rip the Supreme Deity out of himself and give her to Hestia. So now Hestia is the new Supreme Deity. He's gonna keep the Demon King and Null. Um, Hestia didn't have a little sister. She didn't. But let's see. Also, they had children. This is their daughter. We're gonna name her Freya, and their son is back this way. Oh God, I hate that it's so mixed up. We're gonna name him Arthur. So yeah, this is how Hestia looks, and this is how Naruto looks. Yeah, he looks like Gilgamesh because like I was trying to find like a great picture for like a king, and I'm thinking like Gilgamesh is one of the best kings in anime. So like here you are. This is how Naruto's gonna look, and this is one of the four Knights of Black. I kind of got their names mixed up last time and their races, so like I'm about to fix that. So this one, his name is still gonna be Diablo. I'm gonna tell you his abilities: fire manipulation, hell spawn. Basically what Hellspawn does is it opens a portal to hell and pulls him down. Now Naruto made a new type of hell. He didn't want the old hell. He thought it was too lenient. There were demons there, but like it was too lenient. Like you can go there and just be there. Nothing will probably happen. You'll probably get attacked by demons most of the time. Those demons weren't as powerful. So he made a new hell. This hell is like Christianity hell. It's like fire and all of that. But yeah, it's called Hellspawn. He can summon one of the demons from hell that Naruto created. And all the demons down there, they're extremely powerful. They're like Hokage level powerful. And if you get dragged down by them, no, most of them are Ishiki level. And if you get dragged down there by them, that's it. They're gonna torture you and everything. Hellspawn, he can summon the demons from hell. Hell's portal, he can go back and forth from hell. Hestia gave him a grace. The grace was the grace of fire. Now he can control fire to like a subatomic level. Any fire that comes in contact with him will bend to his will. He can form and shape fire. He can make a physical object out of fire. All of that. Time control. He can freeze time. Chronos blast. Basically, when he shoots a plasma beam or just like a normal beam of light. He has Soul Eater. He can eat your soul and whatever. When he takes your soul, he just has the abilities of you. Like what's the name from Mortal Kombat? Um, and he has superhuman strength, speed, stamina, durability. So yeah. Then we're gonna move on to him. I'm sorry, I got that name mixed up. This is Sebastian. Sorry. All the same abilities apply. So this is Sebastian. This is Diablo. Um, he's a demon from Naruto's New Hell. Um, oh, oh, uh, that's easier for me. And he has a symbiote. It looks like the one that's by Noel. Like they're all the same, but he has a symbiote. It looks like one of those, and it's attached to him. They're partners or something like that. So yeah, they all have a symbiote except for this one because like he's literally made out of fire. His he is like his insides are fire. So the symbiote can't combine with him or merge with him. He has weapon conjurement. He has fire manipulation, but not like Sebastian's. He has superhuman strength, speed, stamina, durability, shape shifting. He can shoot powerful beams out of his eyes. He can fly with or without his wings. He has lightning magic. Oh, and Sebastian also has all types of elements. His and his demon mark. My bad, guys. Um, he has his demon mark. He has um, a grace from Hestia called the um the grace of shifting. Whatever he shape shifts into, he gains the abilities of it later. So like if he shapeshifts into another human, he can get that human's abilities or anything like that. Anything he can shapeshift to anything and he gains the abilities of it. Um um yeah. And that's all of his abilities. Oh, and his demon mark obviously. And then we have Fenrir. So yeah. But they call him Finn. Kinda probably gonna be one of my favorites. Besides Sebastian. Probably gonna be one of my favorites. Um he has ice manipulation. Sorry guys if there's a loud noise outside. I think they're doing some type of construction or something. He has ice manipulation. He has superhuman hearing, speed, stamina, durability. He has light manipulation. He mainly uses the light for his speed. But the light is basically just blue and white. Um, yes, Chronos time when he freezes things. It's like what Law's room, but different. He like basically freezes everything in a 150-mile radius of him, and whatever's in there is just going to be sliced in half. Basically, his ability is like Show's ability from Fire Force. That's basically what it is. He's an expert swordsman. He can slice 14 million times in 1 second. Literally, that's how fast he is. So yeah. And then we have we have Lucifer. Or Lucifero. Yeah, I'm just finished watching Black Clover. Well, I didn't just finish. I got like to that episode where Lucifero appeared. Like I'm not even deep into it. I am, but I'm not at the same time. I'm gonna name him Lucifero. He has hell aspect. He can summon any body part of any um demon, and demons have all types of different shapes and form. He has an angel grace. He got sunshine. Yeah, and I told you guys that Naruto brought back sunshine. He was the one that to obtain it, not because he was the strongest, it was because he was one of the weakest, and they needed to balance them out. Um, but yeah, and those things on his arm conserve the heat from the sun and store them in there. He has hellfire control. He has superhuman strength, stamina, durability. He has excellent eyesight. He can shoot powerful beams. um, he also can like summon this type of armor, and it just boosts everything. It's like from Fate. I think it was Fate Night or Fate Zero. It was one of those where where Hercules had that summoned that armor, and it was kind of like black and reddish. I forgot which one it is, and I forgot the name of the armor. But basically, that's what he can summon, but it's just like black and a light type of orange color. Yeah, that's really it, guys. That's Naruto. He has all of his same abilities. So yeah, and let's get to her abilities. His daughter, she's extremely powerful. She got a grace from her mother, the goddess of wisdom. That was her grace. So she's pretty smart. She has light manipulation. She got healing. She has 6 wings. She has water control. She mainly uses water control. Um, she has superhuman strength, stamina, durability, but she doesn't like to fight a lot. um, she can summon like freaking meteors, but like the size of a planet. So yeah, um, she's so overpowered that she can create a mini galaxy in her hand. Yeah, she creates universes to play with. But her mother is stronger. Her mother and father is all just way stronger than her. They can do the same, but like, she's so fond of it that whatever she creates in that little universe or that timescape, she can pull it out. So like, if she creates a giant monster, she can just pull the monster out. She has her own summoning contract. Big Red from da, 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 da. God, I forgot. From Hunter, no, not Hunter x Hunter. High School DxD. She has Big Red. Yeah. And she is an expert in light control. You know what's the name from Black Clover, where she can like control water and make it like body armor. That's what she can do with light and water and earth and fire and lightning. Sorry guys, that was my cousin. My cousin was walking in. I'm so sorry. But yeah, she basically controlled them and turned them into like, I don't know, armors or whatever. She can conjure them into anything she wants. And she has Dreamscape. She can literally pull you in there, and she's literally the god of that world. Anything that happens there is in her control. Um, thank you. And here is Naruto's son, Arthur. Arthur has lightning control. He has superhuman strength, stamina, durability. He has his own symbiote. Um, but his symbiote is it can't be hurt by sound or fire because yeah, Arthur's an expert at Sorry guys, my cousin came back. Um, expert swordsman. He uses lightning to move, but it's mostly like a light speed. But he uses lightning like what's the name from Gil Thunder from Seven Deadly Sins? He uses lightning like that. Superhuman strength, stamina, durability. He has the eyes of basically have a Sharingan, but whew, it's different. It's like totally different. Like it has like the Tomoe, but it's yellow. But it has a basic. But when he gets to his EMS, he gets a Susanoo. Susanoo. But his Susanoo can literally grow to any size he can imagine. So if he imagined it the size of a galaxy, that's how big it's gonna get. And Naruto's still stronger than his kids, like hundreds of times stronger. They would never be able to beat him in a million years. But oh, sorry guys. But but Naruto, I mean, Arthur's an expert swordsman. He has Dragon Slayer magic. That's what he calls it. But in lightning style, he can shoot powerful beams of lightning out of his mouth that could dominate an entire mountain range. He can fly at high speeds. Um, he has dragon aura. It intimidates people. It literally makes them kneel down to him. He's got most of the same abilities as his father. He has symbiote creation, but like on a smaller scale, he can create a symbiote, but he can only take an animal form, and he can give it a special ability, like he can give it like lightning control or stuff like that. He has two symbiote lions. They look like lions, but they're symbiotes. Um, and their teeth are so sharp that it can pierce through Captain America's shield. Yeah, I know I'm making Naruto's family overpowered, but like, just think about it. Like, I already made him overpowered. What's the point? Um, yeah, and their claws can cut through anything. He can open his own portals, his own dimension, like his sister, but his dimension, it's not in the dream realm. It's in the real realm. He just opens it, and there he's literally God. If he wants time to change there, he can change time to the point where he can train for millions of years and come back out the same age. It's basically like his father's one, yeah. He has grace control, but like for like one day at a time. Like he can make a grace, but it have to give specific orders and whatever for the grace. He already made himself two graces. The grace of dragons. This one allows him to any dragon he come in contact with will bend to his will, and then he also has made himself another grace. What do you know? The the grace. No, he has three graces. He made himself. He has the grace to create dragons. He has a full dragon army. Sorry, a full dragon army, and they just sit in his shadow, like Sanjinu. No, they sit inside of his realm, and it ranges to the millions. But his father's army ranges to the billions, even trillions, because like Naruto's army is big, big. Yeah, I'm making them overpowered, overpowered. If you want me to like nerf them a little bit, I could, but what's the point? And then he made himself a grace called domination. Oh, I would hate to be the one on the other side of this ability. So basically, what it does is, if he tell you something and you disobey that order, you will die. You will have to follow that order to the deepest of details. So if he tell you to kill 100 people and you only kill 99, or like that person's not fully dead, they're just knocked out or something, you're gonna die. Also, it dominates over non-living organisms. So if he tell a knife to get up and if he tells a knife to float and stab you, it will. Or if he say all metals in the room attack, every metal in that room will try to pierce you. And he can give them a specific location like your heart or your brain. Like, yeah. Then he has it dominates over animals as well. he has his own little animal army. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, he still have his two lions to be able to stick by him all the time. Um, his dragons all have symbiotes attached to them from his father. He asked his father to help him out with that, and he did. So yeah, he's like the dragon monarch from basically solo leveling. If you guys didn't see it, I'm sorry. If you haven't read it yet, my bad. I'm sorry, but like that's basically how he is. Oh, and he has his demon mark. Yeah. Oh, no, he don't even need the angel wings. He can just fly. Like he just levitates and just shoots off. He just flies regularly, like Superman, basically. So yeah. All right, guys, that's it for all of their abilities. We already know all of Naruto's abilities. Hestia abilities. Her abilities is basically like the Supreme Deity's abilities. She also have her own. She can control that whip. She can form it into anything. She has light manipulation. She can turn light into anything. Like you see those little birds around her, those are made of light. She's freakishly fast. She can create anything she thinks of. She can give out graces. She has her angel wings, and a lot of other things. She's the second powerful because her husband comes first, which is Naruto. And we already know all of Naruto's abilities. He has all 10 commandments in his possession, and they're fused with his body, superhuman strength, stamina, durability. He still has most of the Supreme Deity's abilities. So now, oh, and Chaos from Seven Deadly Sins, he has abilities, so he can create literally anything. He creates planets, stars, galaxies, whatever. He created his own demon realm, and he's the king down there. And no one wants to go there. Um, his demon mark is over freakishly powerful. Like you thought, like Meliodas when he was in Demon King form was powerful. No, this man is more powerful. Did I forget to mention him and his wife is immortal. So is his children. So you can't kill them. Um, and he has his own army, which ranges in the billions or trillions. Just gonna tell you that. His kingdom is one of the most powerful. Everyone there can use magic and everything. He has weapon conjurement. All the abilities his family has, he has because they got the abilities from him. Um, so yeah, and he's an expert swordsman. Fenrir learned from him. And there's plenty more, but I'm not gonna tell of his abilities yet. So yeah, where we left off. Oh right. So we left off where the Konoha ninja just arrived to the village. Yes, I think that's where we left off. I think that is, yes. And Konoha ninjas just arrived to the village, and they were there, and someone greeted them. And this was Naruto's brother, but it's not his real brother. Well, he made him his brother by giving him some of his genes. It's Madoru Uchiha and Mito Uzumaki, like the one that Kushina's daughter. Kushina's daughter Mito was named after. And they're walking, and they greet them, and they ask the gatekeeper, like, who are they? And they say the Konoha ninja. Madara kind of gets ticked off, but he leaves it alone. And Mito says, then he say, come early. And he says, my little brother, no, I don't like to come early. And she says, it doesn't matter. We're going early. We're going to make it there. Sorry, guys. That's the alarm telling someone came through the door. And it was like, how do you, she was like, we're going to get there early. He says, I don't want to. And she just roundhouse and kicked him. And everyone in the village knows what was about to happen. And when she did, No, she didn't roundhouse kick him. Like this little beam, I mean, this little ball appeared in her hand. Everyone kind of knew what this was, and they stepped back. And Madara kept walking, saying he wasn't gonna go until he just felt this aura, and he turned around, and the ball shot towards him, shooting him straight to the palace. And he busted the palace wall. And Naruto, already knowing what happened, just snapped his finger and the wall repaired itself. And Mito says, she says goodbye to everyone in the gatekeeper, and she says sorry for the inconvenience, and just disappear in this flash of light. So yeah, that's basically what happened. Madara just got flung through the palace, which is very large. So yeah, and everyone's thinking like she has a bad temper, and the gatekeepers finish telling the Konoha ninja everything. They're like, their rules. First rule, don't pick a fight. And he says this because anyone here highly doubt you could beat them. And he says that not with arrogance or anything. And everyone noticed that he's telling the truth. Like it doesn't seem like he's lying. Third of all, don't tick anyone off too much because most of them have bad tempers, and you would hate them with a bad temper because of the symbiotes, which is their partner. Whether the fourth of all, don't steal or anything like that. Um, um, Also, I have to check your clans. And this symbiote comes out of out of the gatekeeper's hand. And they're like, what is that? And they get in on their guard. And he says, calm down, this is my partner. And the symbiote like looks at them and scans them. And he says Uchiha Uzumaki Namikaze hybrid, Uzumaki Hata. No, he doesn't know what a Hatake is. He says Uchiha Uzumaki Namikaze hybrid, and he says, I don't know these other two clans, but yeah, I know they're from the Leaf Village. And he says Hyuga, and they're like, how do you know our clans? He's like, there's a lot of Hyugas and Uchihas and Uzumakis here. Oh, and Naras. So yeah, and they're like, what? And he's like, I can call a few here for you. Like, but the girl and the man that just left, well, the man that just got flung through a building and the girl that did it, that was an Uzumaki and an Uchiha. Sasuke said that's impossible. The Uchihas all got killed off. He says no, and he tells the story about how most of them left. But he didn't tell them that that was Madara Uchiha. I'll tell you guys the backstory of that in a few. It says most of them left, and then Sasuke says they was a cowards for leaving, and then that's when they just see these four black flashes, or just these blurs appear, and it was an Uchiha, it was an Uzumaki, it was a Nara, and a Hyuga. The Hyuga's eyes was different. It had the Tensei gun, but it was like purple-ish. Like, and the Uchiha had the EMS just activated like it was normal, like it was nothing. Because that wasn't its even final eyes. They all, in Uchiha in that clan has the Rene Sharingan already. Be honest, keep it 100. That's basically what they all have already. And you're not even a prodigy once you have that, because there's something above that that they call the God's Eyes, and only Madara has it. So he's the leader of the clan. Uzumaki's, their chakra chains are limitless. They can wrap the earth if they wanted to. Infinite. Um, and they can detain, drain abilities and powers. They have great sensory perception. They are still great seal masters, but they can write the seals on the air and make barriers, portals, whatever it is. And they also have their own dojutsu where they can copy other dojutsu. As long as the dojutsu is not as powerful as them, they can copy it. Um, and then the Nara, he can literally full body control the shadows. Like they don't even have to be in the ground. He can pull them up, and they can wrap around him, boosting his physical abilities and everything. They can wrap with his symbiote and everything. Like yeah, and once he controls someone, he the shadow goes into their body and fully controls them. Like they become his slave. They mind control to work for him, anything like that. That's for all Naras, and they're way smarter than the Naras back at the Leaf Village. And they're thinking like this is impossible. These clans are supposed to be in the Leaf Village, and they're like, no, these are the ones that left because of the corrupted ones that was back in the Leaf Village. And Sasuke tells the Uchiha that I demand for you to come back with me now. And Neji and Hinata are saying the same thing. And that's when they say, who are you to demand anything about us? And the man said, didn't I tell you the second rule, not to piss anyone off? And these symbiotes just appear because they have bad tempers. And these are like the vice captains. So like the Uchiha is Madara's second in command. The Uzumaki is Mito's second in command. It's basically like that. And he says, who are you to demand something out of me? And they were about to attack, but then these four flashes appear. It was, God, how did I forget that? Lord, there's no way. There's no way I forgot his name. There's no freaking way. Let's just call him Acnologia because he has like the dragon aspect with the wings. So he's going to be Acnologia. I know I won't forget that. So this Acnologia appears, Fenrir appears, Diablo appears, and Sebastian appears. And they say what is going on. And they're like, oh, and everyone just starts bowing. And Sebastian says, raise your heads. What is going on here? And he says, the Leaf Villagers were demanding something out of us. And Sebastian turns around and says, who are you to demand anything from anyone in the Empire? You're not the Emperor. Don't come here giving demands. And that's when he says, but... And now Sasuke speaks up and says, but they're from my clan, and I can tell them whatever I want. And who are you? And that's when Sebastian looks, and Diablo has a short temper. He's starting to get mad. Fenrir's is just his calm, cool, collected self. And Agnologia is just looking, and he's laughing. And he says, and Fenrir says, let's just kill them, and we can leave one, because they still need an... Oh, no, he says, let's just leave them. They still need an audience with the Emperor. And he told us not to harm them. And that's when Sakura gets cocky, says, yeah, your Baka Emperor said, don't harm us. And this ticked off Fenrir. It was like, Lord. And he just appears behind her in a blue and yellow flash, in a blue and white flash, and says, how dare you to say that again? With his sword, no, he doesn't even draw his sword, and his sheath touching her neck, and it's freezing, and she's thinking like it's cold, and his ice can drop to below -100. So if it freezes you, you're dead. Like you're gonna be wiped from existence, dead. And that's what Sebastian says. Enough. He says leave. He says he tells the gatekeeper he'll be taking care of it from here from now on. He says if you're from the Leaf Village, please go to your hotel. It is waiting. And they go to their hotel and they're thinking like, wow, it's so large. This is what luxury. We're getting luxury. And he says, no, this is one of the smaller hotels in the village. I mean, in the village. In the empire, this is the smallest. And they're thinking, like, what? Like, yeah, it's literally the smallest. There's more way bigger. And they're thinking, like, so why don't we go to those? And they're like, you can't afford them. And they says, fine. And they go in and they're thinking, like, this is luxury enough. Like, but Sasuke feels threatened because he got one of the smaller ones. So, yeah. They get some rest. The next day is they go around looking around and shopping. And they run into these two kids walking. They run into Freya and Arthur walking. And let's say they have a third brother. No. They watch Freya and them walking. Oh, and this is Freya's summoning, and this is Arthur's summoning back. Can't find Arthur's summoning. It's he has dragons. What do you need the summoning for? Yeah, I see Arthur and Freya walking, and they run to him. Freya, she's running around playing and everything, and everyone in the village, the village lords, the empire, just smiling, waving at them. And she's just walking, and she accidentally bumps into Sasuke, and all of her food falls and everything that she just bought for her papa and mama. Her sweet buns fell, and Sasuke says, "Watch where you're going." Little girl flaring his Sharingan, and she says, "But you bumped into me." And he says, "Who are you talking to like that?" He says, "I'm an Uchiha elite." And that's when Arthur just appears in front of his face. They're the same height and everything, staring at him with his hands in his pockets, saying, "Don't talk to my sister like that." And that's when he says, "Or what?" And Arthur's Sharingan appears in his eyes, and Sasuke appears, and he says, "You must be one of those Uchiha." He says, "I'm no Uchiha." And he says, "Then how do you have?" And he says, and Arthur cuts him off, saying, "Apologize to my sister." And Sasuke says, "Why would I?" And um, everyone, um, Kushina and Kakashi, I'm gonna say Guy, no, not Guy. Yeah, let's say Guy's there. Lee, Tamari, Lee, Tintin, um, Neji, Sasuke, Sakura, Hinata, Kiba, and I forgot his name. She something like that. Shikamaru, Ino, and Choji. They're all like, why does he do this everywhere we go? And they're thinking, and Sasuke says, "Or what?" And let's say he's pretty powerful. He got his Susanoo now or whatever, and these Susanoo bone ribs come out. And Arthur's getting ready. He's like thinking he wants to fight, and so he like this. Everyone just feels this energy radiating off of him, and this is dominance. Or did I call it dragon dominance? It was one of those, and it just lets out that aura, and everyone starts to kneel. Now, Hestia and Naruto feels this, and so does the Four Knights of Black. And they're like, "Oh, what happened? It must be those Konoha ninja." And that's when Sasuke gets ready to attack, and he tries to attack, and then that's when Arthur just grabs him by the face, moving at lightning speed, smashing his head into the ground, and then he floats in the air and is charging up a dragon beam, and he's about to let a dragon roar, which is like just a beam of lightning that's about to obliterate all the Konoha ninja and half of the empire, which is big. And that's when he was about to do it, and then that's when his guardian that watches over him, well, his guard, which is Fenrir, cause like he kind of takes after him, appears and says that's enough, Prince Arthur, and he says, but he hurt Freya, and he says it's fine, the young missus is okay. Sebastian came to pick her up, and she told us everything that happened. God, guys, I'm sorry that they keep happening. And she told us everything that happened, and everyone's thinking like Prince, and then one of the merchants comes out, he running, and he says, um, he says, this is for the young mist, her sweet bond, since I saw the other ones got ruined. And that's when Fenrir says the emperor will be hearing about this. And that's when Kushina says, now look what you did, Uchiha brat. You hurted one of the princess, and then you threatened the prince. Now we'll have to deal with this later when we get an audience with the emperor. And Freya runs in, telling her father what happened, and Naruto's mad, and everyone just feels this big bloodlust leaking out of the palace. Hestia tells him that that's enough. He's going to kill everyone in the empire if he keeps letting off bloodlust like this. And that's when Sebastian tells him, my lord, it's fine. She only had a little scrape on her knee, and it healed instantly. And this made him more mad, and Hestia's thinking, why did he tell her that he's so protective over her? And Arthur says, father, I took care of it. And Naruto asks Arthur, did you get hurt as well? Arthur says no. And Arthur says, those Konoha ninja though, they have no respect for people above them. And Naruto says, I agree, I'll teach them a lesson. And that's when he says, and that's when Madara comes in. That's when Madara comes and he says, what happened? Just Shinchuing there, and he says, what happened? And he says, someone hurt, one of that Uchiha brat from the Konoha ninja hurt, Freya, and Madara runs over and says, Freya, are you okay? She says, I'm fine, Uncle Madara. And Mito says, let me take a look at it. And then they take a look at it, and Mito and Hestia wants to cheer her up because of her sweet bun braid got ruined that she got for her father since they're his favorite. But then that's when Fenrir appears inside and says he has something for her. And she's happy now because she got new ones, and she gives them to her father. And he eats them, and he likes them. And he tells her thank you. And then that's when she asks her mother and them, could they go shopping? And Hestia, she asks her aunt and her mother, can they go shopping? Hestia and God, Lord. And Mito says yes. And she says okay. And so they go. But Fenrir had to attend. Sebastian had to attend since he's their bodyguard. No, Sebastian and Diablo had to attend. No. God, why did this keep happening? Right. Sebastian had to attend because he's supposed to be guarding over Freya. And Madara says, I'm going to go. And they're like, no, this is only for the girls. And he says, how does Sebastian get to go? And he was like, because he's um his Freya's bodyguard, and he will always attend. And he starts to pout, and that's when Naruto says, "I have something better. Wait till they leave." And then that's when they leave, and he gets up and he tells them he's switching to his casual attire, like just like what Gilgamesh wears. For no, he just switching to a suit and tie and everything, or just some robes, or he just wears what he wears, and he goes into this big room, and they all of them are looking. Fenrir, Arthur, and them, they're all looking, and they're thinking like, "This is awesome." It is a new training room that has millions of mindless demons, and they're powerful for them to train with. They can barely train because of Hestia in them. So yeah, and he says we can be training here while they're gone. And he says, and Madara says, great idea. And they're training all day until Hestia and them finally gets back, and they clean up and everything before they get back. And not them just sitting there like they're talking. And Hestia says, "What is it? I smell the scent of demon." And Fenrir says, "I told you she'll smell it." And he says, Naruto says, "Don't worry about it. It's fine. Just play it off." And that's when this whip goes across, just inches away from his face, and it just wraps around him and says, "What were you all doing?" And Sebastian is in the back saying like he was trying to keep them busy for as long as he could. And then that's when Fenrir says it was he says it was Naruto's idea. And Naruto says, "You're a snitch." And he just got pulled away by Hestia. And they just hear him screaming, and they say, "Sorry, my lord." And Arthur tries to sneak away, but then the whip extends another hand, another whip out, and just pulls him in too. And Madara thought he could get away, but Mito grabs him, and yeah, he, they kind of got away. Fenrir is the only one that really didn't get in any trouble, because like there was no one to get him, because the Emperor was just pulled away. And he says he's so lucky. But then that's when Sebastian was angry because they kind of trained without him. So yeah, he wasn't off the hook. And they all were beaten up, obviously. But the next day is when the Konoha ninja meets with the Emperor. And yeah, guys, this is where I'm going to leave it off. Um, please like and subscribe. And yeah, peace out.